Hey guys, what's up? GreenMachineSam back with another video, and today we have another Madden 24 roster update guide. Now, of course, this one should be a little bit shorter since we're not going to be showing off a ton of rookies or anything, but this is going to be a quick little update on what's going on with the roster and stuff like that. Hopefully clear things up for some people because some people just don't like to listen for some reason. They click on a video and don't want to watch it, and then, like, I can see your analytics, right? You know I can see how long people are watching the video. If you don't watch the fucking video, I'm not going to be answering your questions in the comments, right? It's just as simple as that. If you watch the video and then you go, hey, I have a question about this, I can help you. But when it's something that I cover within the first 2 minutes and you don't fucking watch the first 2 minutes of the video and then you ask about that thing that I fucking covered, I'm probably not going to answer you in the comments. That's just something I'm going to get out of the way right here and right now. Now, of course, those people that probably don't watch the videos anyway, that just want to leave a comment immediately, probably haven't watched this either, so I don't know why I'm even speaking on this. But first and foremost, this is a PS5 exclusive roster. I am on PS5. Sorry to anybody that is on Xbox or older generations of consoles. I just wanted to make the move back in Madden 22. So we are on PS5. I don't plan on moving to Xbox. I don't plan on doing PC. I don't plan on doing any of that stuff. So yeah, this is a PS5 exclusive roster. I'm sure there's probably plenty of rosters out there. I don't have any recommended off the top of my head, mainly because I just don't want to send you to a roster that I don't play with and that I don't believe in. It's no disrespect to those guys. It's just I don't play on Xbox, so I can't recommend a roster because I've never looked at any of their rosters. It just doesn't catch my eye at all, right? That's first and foremost. Next, so yes, create a player limit has been hit. Last year we got to pick 206. This year we got to pick 223 and hit the limit. I could edit over some players. I don't know if I'm going to particularly do that yet. I don't know if there's anybody that I really, really need on the roster. There might be a couple guys that I might get done just to make position requirements a little bit easier on myself, as well as guys that I do think will make the 53-man roster. Those are some of the guys that I'll probably look towards getting done. So I won't be getting every 7th round rookie done because it's still, I think, 34-ish picks, something of that nature. So I know that there's still a lot of rookies left out, and I get it. It sucks not being able to play with the full draft class, but let's be real. Are you really going to be playing with a 64 overall? You can find 64 overalls that are better on other teams' practice squads that you can honestly play with. So there is that. So first and foremost, you guys will want to head over to the Creation Center. You want to go to Share and Manage Files. Go to Download Community Files. We are a top 5 file on Madden 24 this year. So we're right back in it. Right here, GreenMachineSam. It's literally the 4th one down. You can go find it. It's pretty easy to find. If for some reason you want the other titled one, which is Madden 24 roster update, you guys can push triangle, search by Online AD, search by GreenMachineSam, and it should bring up both my rosters. There's only 2 rosters live, so you should be able to find them relatively easy. Or you can just download this one. They're both the same. It does not matter. It just, it just has a different title just so that if one becomes corrupt, I still have the other one up and ready to go. Now, of course, you will want to load it once you get it downloaded. And if you download it and you've had the file before, and here's something I will say, you have to download it every single time you want the new update. It's not like you automatically get the update. You have to go in and you have to re-download it. If it asks if you want to overwrite your file, just overwrite your file. It'll save it under the same name and get rid of the old file and bring in the new one. And then, of course, you do have to load it. This is something that I will say time and time again, and this is probably one of the biggest mistakes that I've noticed. I literally had somebody text me last night on PlayStation, and it was like, hey, none of the rookies on the Commanders are done. And I'm like, did you load the roster? And he's like, no. And that's why. You have to load the roster if you want the roster. If you do not load the roster, it will not show up. It's as simple as that. I think there's no other simple explanation of if you do not load the roster, you will not see it. Just because you download it and you have it doesn't mean it's loaded and ready to go for you. Okay, so here you go. Caleb Williams is the big one. Of course, Roma Dunze, and then just some other guys. One of the last guys I got done just to show you, and somebody off the top of my head, is Trey Taylor on the Raiders. And then, of course, one of the other 7th round picks that I was able to get done was Travis Clayton from the UK or somewhere over there, one of the European Football League's development program, NFL things. So yes, picks 1 through 223 are done. Those are going to be the main guys that I do have done. Of course, there are some guys that I do want to get done. Just a guy off the top of my head, Michael Pratt, QB for the Green Bay Packers. He could easily go in and be the backup, or or even be that third quarterback that teams are starting to carry even more now. So, because I think you'd beat McGoffin out, and I think you'd beat Sean Clifford out. So I think there would be a possibility of me making him and stuff. And then one thing that we are going to go over is that jersey numbers are getting changed. One of the big ones, of course, Michael Penix going to number 9 and Rondale Moore giving it up. I do think Rondale Moore might buy Taylor Heinicke's number, depending on how many NFL jerseys how many Falcons jerseys of Taylor Heinicke the NFL has left. Depending on that, will determine whether or not he buys it, right? Because like one thing that Kirk Cousins said was like, Kyle Pitts wanted to give up number 8 because Kyle Pitts wanted to change his number, but when they talked to the NFL, it was like they were each going to have to put in like $250K to buy out the remaining Kyle Pitts jerseys for Kirk Cousins to go to 8 and then Kyle Pitts to go to a different number. So it just didn't make sense for them. So Kirk Cousins just stuck with 18, right? And then, of course, rookies getting jersey number updates as well. Let me go ahead and pull something up. I forgot to pull this up beforehand so that it would be easier for me to look at. So yeah, I am getting jersey numbers updated. That is a big thing that people want done. Of course, like I've said before, I cannot change contract numbers. I can't change, of course, dev traits, anything like that. I can't change. Okay, so I can't change age, experience, contract numbers, or dev traits. Those are the 4 things off the top of my head that I cannot change no matter what. You can change them once you go into franchise. I just can't change them on the roster. Madden doesn't give us those abilities, because if they did give us those abilities, then they would probably never sell a game to any franchise players, because we would make perfect rosters and the rosters would look good. It's also part of the reason why they probably don't do cross-platform rosters and files, is because they know if all of us were working together, we would make some pretty dope fucking rosters, and there would be no need to buy their shitty ass game anymore, especially if they finally created one. Especially if they created one that is good. Well, if we could actually create one that is fully immersed. So, like, another one, of course, is a bunch of Cardinals got new jersey numbers as well. Marcus Bailey, BJ Ojolari, and, of course, Desmond Ridder. So we'll go check those guys out. Like I said, jersey numbers have been updated. So Desmond Ridder going to 19. Then we have BJ Ojolari going to 9. We have... So, I forget who took 18. Oh, Marvin Harrison got confirmed that he's getting 18. Dan Chisna, a wide receiver on their team, goes to 17. John Franklin Myers, now on the Broncos from the Jets, went from... he is going to be number 98 for now. The Broncos rookies, a lot of their top rookies got their numbers confirmed as well. Guys like Jonah Ellis, Audric Estime, right? Estime from Notre Dame. Chris Abrams-Drain, Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin's going to 16. Bo Nix to 10. Zach Wilson to 4. Philip Dorsett to 13. Josh Reynolds to 11. The Falcons got their jersey numbers updated as well for a lot of their rookies and stuff coming in. So like I said, jersey numbers are getting updated. They have continuously been getting updated. One thing I do want to show you guys is NFL transactions are also getting updated. So a big one that just happened super recently. Well, not big. It's Allen fucking Robinson in the year 2024. I wouldn't call that big. I'll just call it notable. He goes to the Giants, and of course the Saints released a couple people. Kellen Mond is no longer there, as well as Tommy Kramer, their offensive guard. So those 2 guys are gone. Odell, of course, is the big one, and Jalen Guyton. Jalen Guyton going to the Raiders, taking over number 4, as well as Aiden O'Connell switching his jersey number, and of course the Miami Dolphins picking up Odell Beckham motherfucking Jr. So like I said, a lot of stuff happening, a lot of cool stuff happening. Jersey numbers getting updated. Veterans still signing, and I think we're going to see even more veterans start signing over the next couple weeks, especially with the fact of the matter that is, teams kind of figured out what they got in the draft, and now it's more, okay, now we got to fill in the other holes, hopefully for cheap, use the rest of our cap room so that we can try to have a competitive and solid team going forward. The next thing that I have done, and I've gotten out of the way, is custom depth charts. Now, I know this is kind of, not everybody's going to agree with depth charts, right? So, number one, I tried to go with whoever was their slot receiver last year. I tried to go with the best slot corner, stuff like that. But some stuff just isn't based off of overall. As you can see off the top, Tyson Bagent's probably going to be the backup going into the Bears off season as well as the season. So, he is going to be number 2. Of course, stuff like that. And then, of course, just other stuff. I think DJ Moore is going to be the number 1. I think he'll go out and be the number 1 right now. So I'm going to move Keenan Allen down to number 2. Stuff like that. Gerald Everett, we can see a lot of probably 2 tight end formations. We'll probably even see him split out even more with Cole Kmet still on the field, right? I think we'll see some 2 tight end looks where Cole Kmet's on the end of the line and Gerald Everett split out, standing up, not in a 3-point stance and stuff. So I did move him up in the receiving depth chart. Stuff like that. I've done a lot of different stuff. I didn't just go all in and just say, hey, rookies are going to get starting spots and stuff like that. But I have moved them up over guys that I think might get cut or just might not make the team. De'Aaron Evans, as much as I like him and as much as I would love to see him on the Buffalo Bills as a full-time running back, as much as I liked him on the Bears because he gave us a spark on that offense, I just don't think he'll make the team over guys like Ty Johnson, who really proved himself last year, James Cook and Ray Davis, who they just drafted. I think they will probably end up releasing De'Aaron Evans, and he'll probably go to the practice squad. Now, I'm not saying I hope that, and then stuff like this, Keon Coleman, with a wide receiver group that's so up and down with the Bills, you have Quintez Cephas, you have Andy Isabella, Justin Shorter, you have, of course, guys like KJ Hamler, Chase Claypool, Matt Collins, Curtis Samuel, and Khalil Shakir, where you don't really know that number 1 yet. I have moved Keon Coleman all the way up to the number 2 spot. I think it just makes sense. And then somewhere like this, in the Broncos, room, where it's like, okay, Tim Pratchett, yes, he's a good overall in Madden, but I think he's kind of on the way out in the Broncos organization. I think with just his injury history and everything like that, I think they're going to lean towards getting Mims developed, as well as guys like Troy Franklin and Josh Reynolds, of course. And like I've said, one thing that I have forgotten to mention is, if you're new here, my overalls in Madden aren't based upon how I think of a player. They're based upon where they are drafted. The only difference is being QB, kicker, and punter have different overalls because of, I don't want to break the game. I don't want to put in, if kicker's drafted in the 6th round, I don't feel like making them a 64 overall and making them useless. And if a QB's taking number 1 overall, I don't feel like making them an 81 and making them just overpowered first, year in the game. I just think it's fair doing it like that. So as you can see, J.J. McCarthy, since he was the 5th quarterback taken, he is a 71. Michael Penix would be a 72. Drake May a 73. Jaden McDaniels a 74. And Caleb Williams a 75, with Bo Nix being a 70, and so on and so forth. Like I said, the depth charts are based upon who I think will be starting. I don't know why this is still fucked up like this. Okay, we'll just move Julius Chestnut into there. Oh yeah, because I couldn't find their 3rd tight end. So yes, a lot of this is more based upon how I think the depth charts should look, or what they're going to look like, less than, what they actually are. I'm not like, a lot of people are going to be like, well, why didn't you just go to ESPN and do this? Because in real life, a lot of teams don't go, okay, you're the left tackle, you're the backup left tackle, and you're the backup right tackle. No, they just have swing tackles. They just go, hey, you're going to be the backup tackle no matter which side goes down. Now, there are some cases where, like, if Brax, let's say, I don't know what team you'd look at. Maybe the Lions. I think the Lions would be a good example, I guess, where it would be like, oh, hey, Taylor Decker went down. Instead of having Manu play left, they might swing Penei Sewell over to left and then have Manu slip into right tackle. Stuff like that. But you're going to have more of that swing tackle look. You're going to have more guys that you're going to want to rotate in more often than not. Now, yes, some players are kind of sort of out of position just because of positional requirements as well. But I think the depth charts are very good. If you guys don't like any of the factors, you guys can go change them yourself, right? If you don't think this dude should be playing in this situation or shouldn't be playing here or there or whatever, go change it yourself. It's more about just getting certain guys involved on the team than others, and getting, the quality players in and stuff, and getting them into good positions as well. That's something I was trying to focus on with the custom depth charts. Like I said, so this update mainly confirms with more jersey numbers getting updated. I'm going to get more done probably later tonight when more are announced. I know there's probably a couple more announced that I can go get done right now. I'll probably wait on those. Veteran free agents being signed, guys being released, stuff like that. I'm getting updated as well, like always. And then, of course, custom depth charts. I'm going to try to keep them updated, of course, with players going on and off the roster. It does kind of fuck with the depth chart at times. So I will try to make sure anytime I do add a player to a team, the depth chart is changed or whatever to reflect those players being added, but not those guys being, starting. I don't want to sign a 62 overall to a team, and then for some reason he's now starting at free safety over, a guy like Kevin Byard. You know, if the Bears go out and sign somebody, I don't want him starting over Kevin Byard, so I'll have to go in and change that. If you guys do not enjoy this roster, you do not have to use it. That is something I'm always going to say. There's other rosters out there. Go try some other rosters out. If you don't think mine's good, go try some other rosters out. It doesn't hurt my feelings, right? I put this out there for people to use. If people want to play with it, they can. If they don't have to. With that being said, guys, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about the roster now that you've listened to my whole spiel, hopefully if you made it this far, you can ask questions. You can ask, why is this happening? Why is that happening? What's this going on? All this fun stuff. Go ahead and leave it down below. I'll try to answer it the best I can. If there's a player missing in any situation, first and foremost, I do want to say if they're not inside of Madden, I can't make them. I'm out of player spots. And even if I do have player spots, they're going to go towards the rest of the rookies. Okay, so first and foremost, if you're like, hey, why isn't this guy on the team? I think he's going to make the 53-man or at least the practice squad for most of the year. Go ahead and leave it down below if they're inside of Madden, of course. If they're somebody that's not created, that's already inside of Madden, it's probably not going to happen. So just make sure to check with that and all that fun stuff. But like I said, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. But with that being said, guys, I'm out. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I appreciate the support. I'm out. Peace.